Okay, folks, today we're going to fly from Boston, Massachusetts to Hartford, Connecticut, Logan Airport in Boston to Bradley International Airport in Hartford, Connecticut. So I'm at the gate here at Logan. What I want to do is check to see where I am in the airport. I'm going to aim for runway 14. I'm going to head for runway 14. Should be good enough. We're going to be real light on fuel. That's good. Okay. For pushback, you hit ground services. Toggle down to pushback, attach tug, and push. But the parking brakes have to be up. And push. Now, when he's pushing you back, he should be aiming for that yellow line. The main yellow line that you're going to have to taxi out on, which would be over this way. Right? No, can't get out that way. Okay, so the main yellow line will bring you out to go up this way and then up here. All right. Use the rudder switch to turn the tug. Okay, parking brake. Gets rid of the tug. Alright, just gotta follow the yellow line now. It's important when you taxi to follow the yellow line. In real life, you could get in trouble if you didn't do that. Well, it's not always easy with this because infinite flight sometimes goes. It's hard to steer, and it doesn't. It's not really friendly when you're moving along really slow. See what I mean? Turned a little too much there. The maximum taxi speed is 35, but turning you can't turn at that speed, so I wouldn't recommend going that fast. Now, if you're watching this, of course, you could watch it on 2 times speed to make it a little less boring. I know these taxis can get a little boring. Alright, this runway 4 left is in front of us, which is open, so we're going to do that one. Flaps to 5. Four left, coming up. Of course, you guys are all on 2 times speed, right? I'm not boring the living daylights out here, hopefully. I usually don't taxi this. I try to taxi the shortest amount possible because it really is boring. But taxiing is actually one of the hardest parts of flying. It can be really stressful on the pilot. You know, it's like going to a new town that has new roads that you've never been on before. and add that traffic and then the stress of flying with 300 passengers around $500 million aircraft. You can just imagine. Alright, I'm going to put the parking brakes on here and just want to configure for Bradley. So we'll set up a departure like this. Should be good. Right there, then go over to Bradley International, click on that, click down here, runways. Which one do we want? 24. Right, runway 24 is the last one here. Set nav 1. That's to set up the autopilot. Select approach. We're going to go straight in. Runway 24, which is I-24. Select vectors to final. Add to flight plan. Okay. That completes the flight plan. It's pretty easy. There you go. Parking brake off. Power up to 80, 87. Another thing about these takeoffs, and then from the flight, it's hard to keep the center line. I find it's not that bad if you put autopilot on, but you don't do that until after you take off. So it's but you could take off with autopilot on. It's possible in this game. All right. It's awful looking takeoff. Wind at the end there. All right, let's get some speed going here. Hit the autopilot switch. Need some altitude. Speed can be 250 under 10,000 feet. LNAV is the button to push to follow the flight plan. And if you look down here by this flashing white dot, that's the VNAV, 64 nautical miles. That will turn on, and well, I have to actually turn it on, but then it'll descend the aircraft to the landing altitude that was programmed into the flight plan at Bradley. But that's a few miles away still. Alright, we don't need flaps anymore. That's the moon right there. It's like about a half moon right now. Nice weather today. Names out on the horizon. You can see these names are, I'm assuming those are aircraft that are down in New York City. If I click on the, there's one right there actually. But if I click on the map here, usually when you zoom in, you can see planes at JFK, and there are at least two planes. That's one of the more busier airports on the casual server. Here's one coming in. Where's she coming from? 777. He's coming from LTFM. I'm not sure what that is. He's got the climb up programmed in. He's got it all programmed in. But I don't know what those abbreviations mean, what airports. Let's zoom out. Well, I was coming a long way from LTFM, this one. Istanbul, Turkey. Looks like it came from Istanbul, Turkey. PL, is that? Oh, he's going to Boston. KBOS, right? No. He's using Boston as a waypoint, Providence as a waypoint. At 10,000, then he's going down, so it looks like he's gonna land somewhere in New York, in the New York area, but it's not clear here, unless I'm not seeing it right. Alright, let's go back to our flight. Alright, we're coming around the corner here, heading toward Bradley. We're probably at 10,000, yep. So we can go up to higher speed. We'll program in 350. 330. So we don't overspeed. And I don't know if we're going to get to 22,000. In 19 nautical miles, we're going to start descending. So I'm going to actually lower this now here. Make 14,000. I'm going to hit that nav button right when I can, to give a nice smooth descent into Hartford International Airport. Actually, it'd be nice if it was called Hartford International, it'd be easier, but it's called Bradley International Airport in Hartford. Hartford's a nice city, I've been there. Mark Twain lived there for a while, and he has a house in a museum in the city of Hartford, right? Really, I think right in the center almost. Alright, here we come on the straightaway from Boston to Bradley. Logan to Bradley. This is Massachusetts. We're over it right now. This is up here where you're flashing white top. That's the city of Worcester. I believe that's the second largest city in Massachusetts. Third largest is Springfield. Of course, the largest is Boston. Can we still see Boston? Yep. There it is. Logan Airport's on the water out here. That's Provincetown, Cape Cod, that little tip out there. Tip of the hook of Massachusetts. This is the New Hampshire area. Some clouds come in. Apparently, fixed flight's hooked up to real weather clouds or something. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure why it's doing that. I cleared my my weather should be. I thought I put it on the clearest settings possible, but keep getting clouds today. So I'm still learning this game. I started playing it, believe it or not, about 9 years ago, when it was really new. And I've played it intermittently, for years. But I just started to get back into it lately. And now it has 3D airports, and it's got the jetways. It's got the little cars and baggage stuff that you can pull up to the airplane. Didn't have that stuff before. Actually, when I first started playing, you could only fly in certain regions of the United States. San Francisco region, which included the airports around there. The LA region, which included the airports around there, down to San Diego. So you could go from LA to San Diego. And in Florida, you could fly from Miami to Tampa, but you couldn't go to Orlando. I don't believe, if I remember correctly. But those are really the only three regions I flew. But they did have a small region, JFK and Chicago. So, and probably a couple others, Denver maybe. Anyway, it was a big deal when you could fly around the world and actually go somewhere like a long distance. But for these videos, I'm not going to be doing long distance. It would just be too boring. But these flights aren't meant to be boring. The short ones are interesting, I think. Alright, we've passed Worcester, coming in. We're descending. Oh, I gotta hit the... See, I was talking too much and I forgot. That's why it's good to have a co-pilot and a checklist. I was talking too much and I forgot to hit the vertical navigation button. I'm gonna have to slow down a little bit too. See how that's flashing now? Over here. It's saying it really doesn't have enough time now to get down to 3,000 feet in time. So I'm just turning down the speed. Slowing down. We gotta slow down anyway. Spoilers are on to help slow the plane. Once it gets down to 280, I'll take the spoilers off to save fuel. You always gotta be fuel conscious. You don't want to leave your spoilers on just for the hell of it, because you're burning more fuel than you need to. And if it was the real world, of course, the company you're flying for doesn't want you to be doing that type of stuff. So, all right, spoilers are coming off. It's still descending pretty fast. It's all right. All right, once I get to 10,000 though, right now, I gotta lower the speed to 250. This is a real quick flight. All right, lowering the speed to 250. Heading into Bradley International Airport, Hartford, Connecticut, USA. All right, I'm gonna use some flaps because we're descending, so it's having a hard time slowing down. All because I didn't hit the VNAV button when I should have. Otherwise, we could have gone down in a much smoother approach, but we're good. All right, we're gonna hit that approach pretty soon. At about 5,000 feet, I can turn on the approach button over in this area. You see that there? I don't want to touch it now. When you're under 200 knots in 3,000 feet, you can hit the approach button. And because I set that up in the flight plan, I can land using autopilot, which makes life a lot easier. ILS approach, it's called. On a cloudy day, if your ILS is not working, you cannot land at the airport you intended to because it's too dangerous if there's no visibility. So then you have to always have a backup airport that has some visibility. Let's say you were landing at JFK, but your ILS broke at the last minute and there was no visibility. You would have to ask the tower to land somewhere else. They'd send you to Newark or maybe Bradley or LaGuardia, maybe somewhere that had visibility. And if there wasn't anywhere in the area, you better hope you have enough fuel to get to a different area. But that's rare. I do know that has happened though. Okay, we are approaching Bradley International. Make a left turn and land. Alright, I'm going to take off some more speed here. If we're reducing speed like this, there's no reason to drop the flaps anymore because we're slowing down at a good pace. Of course, once we really have to reduce under 200, we're gonna have to extend the flaps. I'm gonna extend them when I get close to 200 to 10. There you go, 10. And the next speed reduction will go to 15. It's coming up in a minute. Alright, I'm gonna go down to 150. And flaps to 15. Alright, since we're under 3,000 feet and under 200 knots, we can hit the approach button. Didn't turn green, so I'm not sure why. We'll have to see if maybe we're just a little too far out, or what the situation is. Sometimes the approach button just does not work for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it depends on the plane, the airport, if it's a glitch in the game. I don't know, but it should be working now. It's not. We're not descending. Definitely not locked in. So I'm going back to the L nav, which is longitudinal navigation, to get me back on this center line. But that's taking. I don't know what it's doing. All right, I'm gonna have to land manually. When I land manually, I like to zoom in on the.
General Edward traffic, Romeo Alpha 90911 is taking off runway 14, departing straight out.
Well, yeah, of course not. It's little things like that, if it doesn't work right at the end, you really have to recover fast. You don't have much time. If anyone has any ideas why the localizer didn't pick up the iOS, just put it in the comments, because I'd be interested. Going a little too slow, so I think Alright, gear down. Spoilers armed. I'm not doing auto brake. Flaps to 25. Coming in. Alright, I think I can make out the runway now. It's really hard to see these runways. Oh, there's the red rectangles, which I highly recommend. As I've said, I've played this for years, and I've basically figured out early on that this is the best way to use them, because the graphics aren't the greatest. It's just a mobile phone game, and you're not going to get great visuals out of it, but at least it'll help you guide into the runway. And we're way over speed now. It's alright. Plenty of time, man. Slow down.
1,000.
aim for the center line, but
50,
it isn't easy.
30, 20.
Alright. A little bit of a fast landing. That's alright.
General Echo traffic, Romeo Alpha 90911 is to the nautical miles to the south at 500 feet, inbound for touch and close, will make straight and
That was not a great flight. I gotta figure out why the approach didn't work. The only thing I can think of is I turned it on too early. But man, if I did, it was like not too much early. It was only about a second early, I would say. This airport does not have terminals, so I'm gonna end the flight right here. Thanks for watching.